Hi, my name's Jhanvi, and I'm here with Aparna, who I met a few months ago, and I think she's doing some really amazing work in women's health. So we're just gonna have a quick conversation about Aparna's background, where she stands with her company, and what she's trying to build. So, hi Aparna,
Hi, Jhanvi.
how are you
Thanks for
today?
having me. I'm good. I'm good. I'm doing great.
So, tell us some more about yourself and your background before we jump into Durva Life. Where has your career started from, and just your tell us more
Sure.
about yourself.
Sure. So, little bit about me. Born in Bombay, moved around a lot. Finished my schooling in Bangalore. Then moved to the US. Did most of my schooling as far as like undergrad and grad education was concerned there. I actually studied science. Sorry, and so was a biology major, so focused on microbiology and immunology. And then after that, had a really cool opportunity to go work with the U.S. Department of Defense for a couple years. Ironically, on pandemic strains of influenza, corona, other highly pathogenic agents, basically focused on how to mitigate their spread. So it's a very interesting world we live in. That was way back in 2015. So certainly COVID was a bizarre and scary experience in many ways. But that was kind of my first introduction into healthcare because I got to work with a bunch of different people, including scientists like myself, doctors, lawmakers. So it was healthcare kind of at like a really holistic end-to-end level, which was very exciting for someone starting their career. Went to grad school, focused on genetics, again focused on infectious diseases. Thought, maybe I wanted to do something a little bit more entrepreneurial. Obviously, the Bangalore ecosystem, which was home for me, was absolutely blowing up. So moved back, switched into healthcare consulting. Worked with a bunch of folks across different aspects of healthcare. Learned a little bit more about what the business side of healthcare meant. Went into VC, looked at the VC space exactly when COVID started. So obviously a very exciting time to enter a space that I didn't know very much about. Learned a lot. Was very interested to see the different kinds of companies that were thriving and growing in India, especially in healthcare. And at the same time, always was, had that earlier conviction that I wanted to build something in that space. I'd looked at a lot of companies in the women's health space at that time, not really, I hadn't really, come up with an idea myself that I felt was, kind of needle moving enough where I thought I could really make a change. But I was suffering from, PCOS. I knew so many women that were suffering from PCOS, other issues like endometriosis, PMS, menstrual cramps, menopause, you name it, right? I mean, I don't have to tell you that this is something that basically every woman out there can testify to. So with that in mind, I said like I have to do something in this space. I just didn't know what. At the same time, a very close family friend of mine and now a collaborator, at the time was finishing off his schooling in Stanford, then moved back to take over his family's 130-year-old legacy in Ayurveda. We kind of put our brains together as scientists to kind of formulate products that were targeting PCOS at the holistic level, but rooted in the Ayurvedic tradition. So, we went out, he learned the Sanskrit, he read the text. I brought some of my understanding of how, drug development worked, paired those together and kind of created a solution that focuses on PCOS, menstrual health, gut health, and a whole host of other issues at the core level. And because we're scientists, we said, you have to try this in the lab before you can give it to anyone else. So we put it through rigorous clinical testing, and now here we are.
How does the PCOS pack help reverse or manage the symptoms of PCOS?
Great question. So our Divanthri PCOS pack is not only backed by science, but also has a very mindfully formulated set of Ayurvedic herbs that go into how we make the product. So the products contain up to 30 plus different herbs, all of which have been used to help you take control of your PCOS symptoms. The pack itself contains two products. One is the Divanthri Assist, and the other is Divanthri Flow. So Divanthri Assist is specifically formulated for PCOS care. as well as other associated symptoms, weight management, fertility support, balancing other aspects of your hormonal ratios. One takes them basically 2 capsules a day, 2 times a day after a meal. So 2 after breakfast, 2 after lunch, or 2 after lunch, 2 after dinner. The other part of the PCOS pack is the Divansri Flow, which is for your menstrual cycle. Essentially, for all the women out there that struggle with irregular menstruation, that's what your Divansri Flow is for. It helps you balance those hormones, helps address a lot of the challenges that come with irregular menstruation due to hormonal fluctuations. And it's as easy as taking just 10 ml twice a day after a meal.
For you, how does Durva Life ensure that there are no side effects in the long term?
That's a great question, and it's actually a question we hear a lot from our customers as well. The reality is that all of Durva Life's formulations are very, very carefully crafted using a combination of scientific principles, being a team of scientists, that's very important to us, with the age-old principles of Ayurveda that date, more than 5,000 years ago. So that means that we use only whole ingredients and use a very holistic approach to how we formulate our products. So what that means is that by using only natural ingredients that work in harmony with your body, all of the effects that they're creating in your body are only positive. You do not see side effects. There are no other harsh chemicals or additives that we use. But that also means that we don't believe in quick fixes. It's not a band-aid solution that we're introducing to you. We're focusing on addressing your problems at the root cause. So that means that you'll see prolonged benefits and no side effects from long-term use. So a great example is Divansri Assist, our one-stop solution for PCOS care. It helps manage a bunch of PCOS-related symptoms, including reduction of cysts, both in size and number, management of weight loss, also helps manage and improve fertility outcomes. For women with mild to moderate PCOS, you only have to take it for 2 to 4 months to see long-term improvement in your PCOS. But for women with slightly more severe PCOS, you might have to take it for around 4 to 6 months to see similar benefits. But the reality is that you'll see all of the benefits without any of the harsh side effects that you would see maybe with other forms of treatment. You can trust that you're nourishing your body when you take Durva Life's products in the most gentle, balanced way while focusing on your problems at a systemic level to create long-term impact and address the wellness goals that you have with a future thinking perspective. So with that in mind, click on the link below, get 10% off your first purchase and start living a Durva life and take control of your healthcare and be empowered to address your PCOS and other associated issues at the holistic level.